I'd like to start on a positive note, Minister. For the first time, I'll be able to walk my 3.5-year-old son to school this September, to preschool, because we are availing of a €12 million investment from central government into connecting Glanmire to the city and Glanmire to East Cork. So we're seeing the benefits of active travel and the extension of greenways and cycleways in my area, which is very welcome. I'd also like to echo concerns that were mentioned by Deputy O'Sullivan earlier in terms of the frequency of services. So I'm lucky to live, as I said, on the Cork-Cove railway line, and I would regularly use the train up from Little Island or Glounthaune into the city. And in time, given the government investment of €185 million into that line to make it fully electrified and fully accessible, we will have, in a couple of years' time, a train every 5 minutes, which would be massive for the area. Unfortunately, there's many rural areas in my constituency, such as Grenagh, Carricknavar, Whitechurch and Upper Glanmire, and the bus service there is so infrequent. It is literally like apples and oranges when you're comparing the offering in terms of public transport to both sides. Now, I know we can't have trains, on everybody's doorstep, but at the same time, in those rural areas in particular, I think we need to have greater emphasis on public transport in terms of our bus provision. It would be remiss of me, I suppose, not to mention the debacle that is Dublin Airport, but I do think it's oversimplistic when people say divert flights to Cork or Shannon. But I do feel that the government and the DAA should be doing their best to subsidise additional flights out of those regional airports. I think it's the one way that we can actually alleviate some of the pressure off Dublin, maybe in the medium term. But I do believe that something has to be looked at in terms of security and how quickly people can get through those channels in Dublin in the short term. Just one other area I'd like to mention, and that's in the area of the reduction in fares, and it is to be broadly welcomed, the reduction that was handed out a number of weeks ago, and it's great that I actually see people using that train line that's been there most of my lifetime. I see them using it for the first time now, and those buses that are going in and out of the city quite frequently, and it's now actually it's cheaper and more competitively priced for them to leave the car at home, not have to pay the parking charges in the city or wherever they're off to, and to leave the car at home and get the public transport option. And I believe that I suppose needs to be further built on going into future budgets. I think it's the one part of our policy here that we need to sweat the asset as best as we can. If these buses are running these different lines, we need to make sure that they're full and operating at capacity to get the true benefits of them. Gormagat.